Hello, everyone. This is your favorite weather girl, Kate Weatherwise, coming to you on October 19th, 2025. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. I wanted to put out this weather forecast. This is for the rest of today on Sunday through the week, this coming work week. And there's a couple changes that I wanted to talk to you about. There's also a little surprise maybe at the end that some of you or most of you or maybe all of you will want to hear, want to stay for weather-wise, that I will talk about as well. We'll see if it rings true, but this is just like foreshadowing what could happen this time next week. So right now the wind is going outside. I think if I'm looking outside right now, there's a little bit of a lull, but that's par for the course. We're going to have some wind gusts off and on for the rest of the afternoon into the evening until 7, 8 o'clock is when it'll start to die off a little bit. And instead of gusting to 20 miles an hour or above, it'll be gusting to maybe 10 miles and above. And then as the night rolls on, the winds will start to die down. And tonight's low is going to be in the low to mid 30s for most. I'd say 2,000 feet is my threshold for right now over the next few days, the threshold for freezing or not freezing at night. So if you're above 2,000 feet, you're probably going to be at freezing or below. If you're below 2,000 feet, you're going to be at freezing or above. So tonight's low is going to be in the low to mid 30s for most. And there's still a chance of some convection for the rest of today. For the next couple hours, I would say it's 3:30. By the time I get this out the door, it's going to be at least 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour, we could see perhaps some convection popping up and moving through the area. I will highlight that when I move over to the models. But I don't want to make this super long, but I will be talking about the rest of today and then this week. So let's just get started, shall we? Let's just get started. Okay, so this is right now. There's not a whole lot going on. And this is the high resolution rapid refresh model, which is a model that gives you an indication of what is forecasted to happen, what could happen within a short frame of time, the next 6 hours, generally speaking. It'll go out longer, but I don't really like using it for things that could potentially pop up beyond 6 hours. So from now until 6 hours from now, this is a decent model of what you can expect. Location may not always be super accurate, but at least there's, a good indication of what could be. So if you're looking, for those of you over in Western Washington, you have a good setup for a convergence zone setup weather-wise for you guys over there. As you can see, I used to live in Western Washington, so I'm really familiar with the convergence zone setup, where you have precip and a very favorable, usually either north of Everett. It just, the way the winds come in off the ocean, it just forms, and there's lift in the atmosphere, and it just can create a really persistent precipitation, whether it be rain, whether it be snow, whether it be hail, or whatever it is. So if you live in that area, this is orange and pink and green. So it could be thunder, it could be hail, it could be grapple, it could be any of those things. And it's kind of fun, but that happens over there. And then oftentimes it starts to move south, and then once it gets out of that favorable convection area, convergence zone area, it'll start to die off, and that's what happens there. And then another one forms and moves south as well. And then by the middle of the night, it's sort of, it dies out completely. But let's just get back over to our area. There's a possibility. I'm going to move over to, this is the reflectivity, which is a good indicator of what possibility of convection could form in our area and move through. It has in this particular one between the 6 and 7 p.m. time frame. This sort of looks like it's going, because here we are right in this area. It looks like it's going to split us, but it goes once this next frame is an hour later. So I'm not sure what's going to happen within that hour, but my husband and I like to joke, have a running joke with each other about how when we see something coming at us like a thunderstorm or whatever it is, it likes to get to our location and then sort of split and then not come overhead and then come back together when it gets past us and keeps moving on. We say we are storm repellent, but that's not actually true. It kind of feels that way because we love storms so much. So anyway, anytime between now and I would say 6:00 p.m. tonight, we could see some convection. But that's something that we just have to keep an eye out for. The parameters aren't super great for us and hasn't been all day, but there's still a slight chance. So we'll see what happens. And then tonight, like I said, the temperature is going to get down in the low to mid 30s. And then tomorrow it starts to climb back up into the 50s, mid 50 temperature range, and mostly cloudy skies. The winds are going to be light, could be gusting to 7-8 miles an hour in the afternoon. And then tomorrow night, our temperature again is going to be in the low to mid 30s. That 2,000 foot threshold, above 2,000 feet, will probably be freezing or below 2,000 feet at 32 or above. And then we get into Tuesday. I'm going to go back over here to, this is the GFS, and it shows, this is starting at 5 p.m. today. As we work our way through, it does show some snow in the northern Cascades, maybe even down to Snoqualmie Pass. Probably not Snoqualmie, maybe the peaks above Snoqualmie, but up into the northern Cascades. So that'll be good for the ski resorts. And then this next system sort of dies out, but then as we go later into the week, this is as of Wednesday, that does not make it to our region, which I wasn't forecasting that anyway. I was forecasting decent weather through Thursday, and then Friday we see this system coming in. This is the system that's going to make it over the mountains, and that is going to give us some rain on Friday. But before Friday, it's going to be decently nice, partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the 50s, mid to upper 50s to around 60 on Wednesday and Thursday. The lows are going to be in the 30s for most of the week, 40s on Thursday night because of the cloud cover. So if you have any plans outside to do anything, or you have baseball games to go to, or not baseball, soccer games to go to, anything to do outside, the weather should be good for this week, which is good. This is Thursday or Friday early afternoon around 2 p.m. You can see some green popping in over here. You see some, let's see, more rain popping in. This is all Friday afternoon. So by Friday afternoon, right now, I'm sure I will be putting out more updates to make sure this stays on track, or if there are any changes, I will be talking about those. By Friday afternoon, we're going to be into the rain. And then look at that. It's still snowing over here. And it does turn to rain for northern Idaho. I think back here on an earlier frame, I won't go all the way back, but there was some snow that was falling over northern Idaho, over Schweitzer Mountain. So that'll be good. That'll be good for Schweitzer, for any of this. And see how this changed from like mainly green, except for blue in the mountains, to blue in a lot of places. The mountains, and then northern Idaho, northeastern Washington. I had someone reach out to me about a wedding that's being held here soon, and what the weather's going to be like at the wedding, which is going to be in Idaho. And it doesn't look to be too bad. These systems that are going to come through starting Friday through, I think through Monday or Sunday night into Monday, they aren't going to be gully washers. They're going to be rain, a pulse of rain, and then dry, and then another pulse of rain, and then dry. So it may be wet in the evening, it may be dry during the day, or vice versa. But Saturday doesn't look to be a washout, but there is going to be some rain that does pop in. This is Saturday night at 11 p.m. This is Saturday afternoon, so it does show a little bit of rain for our area, but this is definitely over Lookout Mountain, or I always say Lookout Mountain because that's when we drive to Montana. Of course, we drive on I-90 and we go over Lookout Mountain, and it's like, oh, we're finally in Montana. Hello, Montana. So anyway, I like Lookout Mountain. It blossoms. See how that blossomed over here? And it sort of moved over to the Washington-Idaho border. And this is 2 o'clock in the morning into Sunday morning. And then the rain sort of the snow sort of stays over here into Idaho. We'll see if that remains true. And then we have some more rain or some more snow. And then it just kind of goes away. Look at this. Okay, so what I wanted to point out is the possibility for snow for us Sunday night. So that's going to be southern Stevens County, Spokane County. The possibility for snow for us on Sunday evening, next Sunday evening. And that's the little thing I wanted to talk about that I mentioned at the beginning. So we could see some snow or some snow rain mix down to the surface around our area on Sunday night. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. I'm going to take a drink of water. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch on Sunday night. It's probably going to most likely be overnight Sunday night into Monday. Sorry, guys. When I talk too much, I get a little grovelly. So, pardon me. I'll get better because all I need to do is just talk more. I've been talking today, but for some reason, my throat kind of gets crazy when I talk too much. Anyway, so maybe that's my cue to stop talking and end this video. Oh, okay. So back to it. There's just waves and waves. Now this is getting out probably way too far. This is into next Monday night. So I really don't want to. This has like lots of snow falling next Monday night. And I don't like going out this far, but it is something to look at. It's a week away. It's 8 days away. Monday night, 11 p.m. Most of us are going to be asleep, so you probably won't even know, but it's something to keep an eye on that I will keep fine-tuning and forecasting and getting better at forecasting what's going to happen next week. But just a little tidbit of info. And I'm going to stop there. This is a cool model. This is the total snowfall model. And as we go forward in time, let's see, this is Wednesday. You can see things really start piling up here in Canada. And then the mountains, the Cascade Mountains. Ooh, look at those Cascade Mountains. Oh boy. This is Monday into Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. So as you can see, this is starting to creep down further and further south. Further and further south. What, 3 inches up here fall? We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep you posted. But that's it for now. I won't leave you. I'll leave you with that little tidbit of information. And I hope you all have a good evening. Go Mariners. They have another game tonight. They could clinch it tonight. We'll see what happens. That's another reason why I wanted to get this out before the game started, because I'm a Mariners fan and I would really love to see them go to the World Series. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I will put out another video. Hopefully I'll have a wind video, although the wind is pretty calm right now, so I don't know. I may not get any wind video out. I said I would do that, but it's not going to happen if the wind isn't even blowing. So hopefully it picks back up and I can get a good wind video, go up to my favorite spot. But have a good rest of your Sunday. Have a wonderful start to your week. And I will be back with any and all updates, for either through video or through in my Facebook group. And like I said before, I will begin to branch out and talk more about the country, versus just in the inland and the Pacific Northwest, because I know there's people on this channel who are not from this area of the country, and I want to make sure that I cover everyone. But I wanted to start with the inland Northwest because that's where I live and that's where I have, the most expertise. Not the most expertise, but it's where I live, so I have like visual observation. But I will branch out and we'll get this rolling, and it'll start to get really fun for everyone. All right, guys, have a good rest of your evening and good start to your week, and I will talk to you soon. Kate Weatherwise, for now, saying goodbye.